What is up, everybody, and welcome to Diamond in the Rough, a podcast all about baseball where a few rough-looking guys talk about much better-looking guys on a baseball diamond. However, I don't think Trevor Bauer's the best-looking guy, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm a little opinionated there. I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
I
But
completely
today
agree.
we're doing an emergency episode about Trevor Bauer. And before we get into it, be sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram if you're listening to this right now. DIR Podcast on both platforms. You just got a new logo courtesy of our boy J Pro. It's looking clean. And then I'm NMR Sports as always. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at NMR Sports, NMR Sports 30 on Instagram on Instagram and Twitter. Now, Mick's gonna take over hosting for me real quick while I answer this phone
Got
call.
you. Got you. My name is Mick Miller42, all platforms, MIC Miller42, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, while Nolan pieces out for just a quick moment. It's all about emergencies here today. And Nick, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NickTeriault12, THERIAULT.
Well, Nick, it is official. Trevor Bauer sucks. Just kidding. Trevor Bauer is going to the Los Angeles Dodgers. If you're listening to this and you're a Dodgers fan, I'm sure you're absolutely hyped. If you're a Mets fan, that's all I have to say. I am sorry.
It's more of an oof moment for the Mets fans because of
Dude,
Bob Nightingale.
I don't know who this
my
guy
God.
is. I saw this YouTube live stream. There was over 1,000 people in this live stream, just of Mets fans, waiting for him to announce signing with the Mets. I don't even want to know how that went when it finally got announced.
Oh
He's going
my
to the Dodgers.
God. Yeah.
Feels bad, dude.
Like, people are talking about taking away Bob Nightingale's check mark on Twitter. Like, getting
he's
him
terrible,
unverified,
dude. He's terrible.
getting him fired and all this stuff. And, like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Because yesterday, like 20 hours ago, he tweeted that the Mets have a deal with Bauer. And then it was just like, I don't know. I have a little bit of a theory here, actually. I think that Bauer privately told Bob Nightingale that he was going to sign with the Mets. He purposely told him not to tell anybody else, so he could be the first one to tweet it out and feel privileged. And then he just completely trolled anybody. He completely trolled everybody, and then did a whole switcheroo and signed with the
Do
Dodgers.
you think Bowers told Nightingale so that he could try and get Nightingale fired and make him look like an idiot?
No, I think he just wanted to troll him because he knows that Bob Nightingale is always wrong and that always makes
I feel like
him bogus
he
tweets
should have
and
done that to
stuff.
John Heyman. They have major beef. If you guys are
Yeah,
listening to this
but-
and don't know what we're talking about, John Heyman and Trevor Bauer's agent and Trevor Bauer, they constantly are just bitching
yeah,
at each
that's
other
true.
on Twitter. It is insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a lot of beef a couple months ago.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean John Heyman blocked them all on Twitter, all this stuff. I mean John Heyman blocks everyone on Twitter, but if you're not
He
blocked by
blocked
John
Fuzzy,
Heyman on
too.
Twitter, it's impressive. Exactly. But in terms of the
Yeah.
Dodgers and Trevor Bauer, I mean we've talked about how good Trevor Bauer was last year. He had a 2.76 ERA plus, which is fantastic. That's 176 better than league average. He had a WHIP under .8. Under 1 is elite, and he had it under .8, which is incredible. He had 100 strikeouts
Yeah.
and under 80 innings. I mean, his fastball spin rate is elite, literally the best. He has the best fastball spin rate in the league in terms of baseball savant. But, I mean, so he deserves the money that he got. I
Yeah,
guess
for
we should
sure.
probably go over the contract. So if you're listening to this and you don't know, Trevor Bauer got a 3-year deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers with $102 million guaranteed. But it's interesting. So in 2021, Bauer's going to get $40 million. And he has an opt out after 2021.
And
Then in
2022.
2022, he's going to get paid $45 million and has an opt out after that season. And then in year 3, he's only guaranteed $17 million, but he can opt out before that if he thinks he can bait that $17 million mark in 2024 or in 2023. So, I mean, it's definitely. He got paid. He got the money that he deserved. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised the Dodgers went out and did this. They know that it sets them up to repeat.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah. What do you think?
I think it was a smart business move for Bauer because obviously he wants to win now, and the best team to go to would be the LA Dodgers. I honestly
Yankees.
thought he would go to the Mets as well, but I felt deep in my heart that he was going to sign with a big name team. I feel like going to New York, the Mets, would be more of a gamble for him because, the Mets are going to Met.
Sure.
I think it was a good business move from him, especially having 2 opt-out clauses after 2021 and 2022. Like if he wanted to go out and get more money in 2023, he could easily do that, like make 25 million or 30 million or whatever, because he's breaking the AAV record already in 21, and then he's gonna break his own record in 2022.
I don't understand why he would
mil.
opt out after year 1. I mean, there's no chance he gets more than 45 mil in 2022. Like,
Yeah, there's no
who the
way.
hell opts out of that? Year
Yeah.
3, I understand, because if he pitches at an elite level the first 2 years and he thinks he can break that 17 mil, that I understand. But
Yeah,
who the hell opts
for
out
sure.
at $45 million in 1 year? That makes no sense to me at all.
I think that opt-out clause is a part of this contract, especially for 2022, is if somehow the Dodgers fall off, which I don't think is going to happen because they have
No
so many
chance.
great players in their farm system and on their team right now. Even if they lose Seager next offseason to free agency or someone else somehow, they still have a great team, so I don't know why.
I think they might as well sign Justin Turner. I mean, so they were at just under $200 million before they signed Trevor Bauer. Now they have signed Bauer, so that puts them way above the luxury tax. So there's no reason not to just go out and also sign Justin Turner, bring him back. I mean, he's one of your he's a fan favorite. He's been super successful there. So officially they don't have him yet, but I think they will. I hope they do. I hope they do for the sake of my prediction video, because then I will be at least I'll have one of them right.
I would like to see him retire in Los Angeles.
I think he should too. I mean, I don't think he's going to get a 4-year deal like he wanted, but I think it's just a matter of time before they finally reunite and sign. If you look at the Dodgers rotation, I mean, it's up there with the best in baseball. Obviously, they've got Walker Buehler, who's a young stud. Everyone knows Walker Buehler. They have the best pitcher of our generation in Clayton Kershaw, who's still an elite pitcher, and then of course Trevor Bauer, who just won the Cy Young Award. And then they have Julio Urias, who was really good for them in the playoffs.
He was electric.
Exactly. He pitched.
My God.
He got
He
the
was
last
great.
out of the World Series. He was great. So now he goes back to being a starter. And they get David Price back this year, who opted out in 2020. I don't know if David Price is better than Dustin May, but maybe they bring Dustin May. Maybe they let Dustin May go to the minors for a little bit, get a little bit better, or they send Dustin May to the bullpen. Not sure what the plan is. And they also have Brusdar Graterol, who came up as a starter, who they can push to the bullpen. I mean, they just have so many options now. It's gross.
Tony Gonsolin as well.
Oh, I forgot about Tony Gonsolin. Yeah, and Tony Gonsolin was really good in 2020. So
yeah, well, I was thinking earlier that since they signed Bauer, maybe they could use May or Gonsolin as a trade piece, because they probably wouldn't get much value for David Price if they wanted to trade him.
But what hole do they have on their team?
That's the next point I was going to bring up, because they don't have any holes in their team. The whole team is good.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing for them to change.
I mean, at least they have the pitching depth now. Like, they could use one of them in the long relief role if they wanted to. Maybe Dustin May to get a little bit more experience. I would have Gonsolin in the 5 spot, Urias in the 3rd, and then Kershaw, Bauer, Walker Buehler at the top of the rotation.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah. So I mean, if you just, it's probably the best rotation in baseball, and they have the depth, and their bullpen's elite. I mean, they've got Kenley Jansen.
Their bullpen's insane.
Yeah, they still have Kenley Jansen. They still have Joe Kelly. They re-signed Blake Trinan. They have Dylan Floro. Cal McKinley is not going to be there in 2021, but he will be there in 2022.
Corey Knebel.
Corey Knebel.
Adam Kolarek.
Yep,
underrated player.
They have they have just about every. I mean. Yeah, there you go. I'm
going to switch my hat. For everybody listening on Spotify, I'm switching my hat from the Mets to the Dodgers.
Just like Trevor Bauer did. According to Bob Nightingale, anyway. I wonder what's going
Thanks to
through
Bob Nightingale.
Nightingale's going through his head, yeah. I mean, I don't know if this means... Obviously, we know that the Dodgers are going to be really good. I think they definitely beat the Padres in that division now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Dodger fan. But... in terms of the Mets, now that they lost out officially, like, do they go out and do they get James Paxton and Jake Odorizzi? What do they do now? I mean, they got to get another starter, right?
I think they go for Odorizzi, or maybe, like you said, like you predicted, the Paxton would go to the Phillies, or I predicted Toronto. I think he could go to one of those two teams, but the Mets could also be in play. But I think they're more likely to go after Odorizzi.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if they thought they needed another, it's not like they don't have an ace. So I know they wanted Trevor Bauer to come in and be that number 2 guy, but they have the best pitcher in the game in Jacob deGrom, so they don't need a number 1. And if you get a guy like Odorizzi, he's going to throw you quality innings. He gives you more reliability because Stroman didn't pitch in 2020, Syndergaard didn't pitch in 2020. He won't be back until around June, I think. They also have Carrasco, who has an injury history but is still good. So they definitely need more reliability in that rotation, which I thought Bauer was going to give them. I was proven very wrong very quickly. But
Clown of the Week Part 2.
Honestly, dude, Jesus Christ, dude. I will be Clown of the Week Part 2.
I'm not sure who awards that, but I think it's Nolan that awards
Nolan did it the first time, yeah, just to troll me.
I mean,
I'm curious to see what Nolan's thoughts are on this. If you're listening to Spotify, he's still on the phone with someone. I think it's
he said he'll be back in a few.
Yeah. This is going to be a short episode, obviously. I mean, it's just an emergency episode to talk about Bauer going to the Dodgers. I don't know. This doesn't. I feel like this doesn't change that much about the league that we didn't already know. We knew the Dodgers.
I mean, the Dodgers are still a powerhouse. They're
exactly.
still
They
the
were
best
a
team in
powerhouse
baseball.
before. Exactly.
Yeah.
All it means is that they just have even more things to do. Like it just means that they're probably going to win the World Series again. Obviously, you can never predict that like with accuracy at the beginning of the year, but all it does is help them set up for a repeat. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate for them.
I think this Bauer move just solidifies that the Dodgers are going to get their, was it 8th or 9th straight division title in the NL West?
I think this would be number 9. If they win in 2021, I think that's number 9.
Okay, yeah. Then I think it just solidifies their 9th straight win of the NL West, because the Padres went out and got Snell and Darvish, and the Dodgers obviously countered that with getting Bauer. Plus, they already had an elite rotation without Bauer. So it just makes them that much better. And I don't know, the Padres tried to one-up the Dodgers this offseason for sure by making all these crazy moves like back in January. But I don't know. I think they're still going to be a great team, but I don't think they don't compete with the Dodgers.
I don't think there's any way.
I think it solidifies it.
The Dodgers would have to suffer from some major injuries for the Padres to beat them in the division. And that could always happen. I mean, it's happened to the Yankees a lot. So that could happen to the Dodgers, but I don't see that happening. And I definitely don't see them losing to the Padres. Like, yeah, the Padres are good. I don't know what else the Padres can go out and do. There's not much. There's not that many good pitchers to go after. Like in 2022 or after the 2021 season, there's not that many free agent pitchers out there. So there's not like an ace you can go out and trade for now. There's no counterpunch.
Yeah. Well, they're probably going to extend Snell.
I 100% disagree with it.
I used your point. I used your point. So,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I was having a conversation, but yeah. So what are our thoughts? Catch me up to speed.
Basically, we just said that the Dodgers were already a powerhouse, and now they just become even more. It solidifies them as a World Series favorite. The Padres definitely aren't going to beat them in the division now unless the Dodgers get some major injuries. We talked about the Mets probably going out and signing either Odorizzi or Paxton because they need some more help.
Maple.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers are elite. I still think we talked about them going way over the luxury tax now, so probably re-signing Justin Turner is still an option.
The fact that Trevor Bauer is making more money than the Indians.
Yeah, I think there's 3 franchises he's making more money than now.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
$45 million in 2022. That's
45,
ridiculous.
yeah.
That's almost 10 more. That's almost
ridiculous.
10 million more than the best player of our generation is making. Like, I understand Mike Trout's not like some flashy guy who's going to demand $40-50 million a year, but like, bro, do you think Rachel Luba? Do you think she's like a new, like, is she going to be like the next what's his name? The guy who represents Scott Boras or whatever.
Yeah, Scott Boras.
Because that's bro. I mean, I get that he was the free agent this offseason, but
obviously,
damn.
like, I love what she did, but at the same time, I hate it because I don't want every free agent to be like that, like what Bauer just did, and I don't think they will be.
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
was so irritating. I won't lie. By the end of it, I was very sour. And
yeah.
especially
I don't
'cause he
think
signed with
anybody
the
else is
fucking
going to be like
Dodgers.
Bauer. I don't think anybody else is going to be like Bauer in the offseason.
But I don't know, Rachel. I don't know if more free agents are going to see what she did for Trevor Bauer and be like,
She did a
okay,
damn
I
good
want
job.
that. Yeah, because
Yeah, she
like
did.
that's how Scott Boras got to where he's at. He's like, oh, Alex Rodriguez got this contract. You know what? Maybe I want this guy. Maybe I want okay. And then he just kept going and going. And then they had that one off season where I think he had Rendon, Strasburg, and Cole all signed over $1 billion worth of deals within the same week.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Rachel Luba is maybe the next big thing because obviously she kind of got in with Trevor Bauer because he's kind of, the new wave of player. I think Bauer's like kind of in his own right currently. There's like the players that are fun to watch with like Tatis and Soto and stuff, but Bauer's the only Bauer's the Juju Smith of MLB. If that makes sense, see him run around on social media doing all
Yep.
this stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely like same thing with Juju Smith. I not necessarily. I don't know if I like him, but he does well outside of the game. So
Yeah.
it's
I
interesting.
mean, he does a great job of promoting the game, and which I like. I appreciate.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what he does in LA. He's definitely a lot to do over there. So
I think he's gonna absorb it. I think he's gonna pitch. I think he's gonna pitch really well. I don't think he's gonna pitch as well as he did this year. We've talked about how bad the Central was in terms of offense. I mean, he only faced 2 above-average offenses this year.
where does he fit in that rotation? I say he's the third best starter on their team.
I'd say the third best starter.
I think he slots in at number 2, like on
Ahead
paper,
of
just based on his
Kershaw, or-
2022, or based on
of
2020. I
Buehler?
think he slots in at number 2. But I do think he'll
Ahead of
probably
Bueller
pitch
or Kershaw?
behind Bueller. But I think he'll probably pitch. He'll pitch like they're 3, but he'll slot in at number 2. If that makes any sense.
Bro, that rotation's so
Yeah.
disgusting. Poor Julio
Yeah, we
Urias,
talked
man.
about
He's
that
never
too.
going to get the chance to be an everyday starter.
Yeah.
Well, we think he's gonna be the 4 guy. They also have Tony Gonsolin, and
Dustin
then David
May.
Price is coming back. So they have tons
I
of
think
guys. They still
Dustin
have
May.
May.
I think Dustin May and David Price would be my 4 and 5 there. But you see, like your point you said earlier, they're probably going to have like 10 starters. Every team is. For
They need 'em.
2021.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they've
Well, they
got.
have the depth for sure.
Oh yeah, they have the depth. They have a hell of a bullpen. They have one of the best lineups in the game. Dodgers are the most complete team in baseball, and they just got even more complete.
I mean, if you look at like the Dodgers have, and I'm not throwing shade at like the Angels. It's going to sound like I am, but the Dodgers 1 through 7 is better than the Angels. Like the 7th guy on the Dodgers is better than the Angels number 2, and they could say that about a lot of teams though, not just
That's
the
not true.
Angels.
The 7th best guy on the Dodgers not better than Anthony Rendon.
No, pitching wise.
Oh, pitching wise, okay. I thought you meant lineup because
No. The 7th man.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
I
Dodgers
agree. I
rotation.
wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, the Cy
say that
Bundy
about a lot
would
of
probably
teams.
be their number 5 or number 4 on that rotation if
Yeah.
he's lucky. And yeah, all of our other guys wouldn't even sniff maybe a few relief innings.
Exactly. I mean,
So-
you could say that about a lot of teams though. There's not many teams that have any
Yeah.
better pitching than the Dodgers. Like I said, the
Do you
rich get
think the
richer.
Padres have a better pitching staff?
No.
I think the
No.
Dodgers have a better lineup. I think the Dodgers have a better bullpen, in my opinion, currently. I know the Padres have a great bullpen, but the rotation's they're definitely comparable, but the Dodgers have the depth I feel like that the Padres don't have.
Yeah, well, getting
yeah.
Bauer solidifies that depth.
Once Clevenger comes back in 2022, and if the Dodgers have the same rotation, it becomes a lot closer. But right
Yeah, it
now, I
does.
think it's hands down.
Well, it also
Dodgers.
depends on what Mackenzie Gore looks like if he comes up next year.
That's also, but yeah,
excited
let's say
for
in
Gore.
2022, Mackenzie Gore solidifies himself and they get Clev back, then we have a real discussion there. But until that happens, I think it's hands down Dodgers.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure because I think Mackenzie Gore is definitely the future of the Padres with Yu Darvish aging. He's definitely going to get a spot on that squad soon. Once he comes up.
Absolutely, yeah.
It'll be definitely interesting to see. Like I'm excited to come October 2021, just look at all their stats and be like, okay, this guy had a fucking terrible year. This guy came out of nowhere. Joe Musgrove won the Cy Young, and Clayton Kershaw had a 5 ERA. We're just gonna be like all over the place, because not all these guys can be good, but not all these guys can be bad. So
That's
the
baseball,
NL West,
yeah.
man, the NL West is the anti-AL West. It's exciting, and they have such good players on the at least at the top of the division.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. The poor Mets, though. God, Mets fans.
Yeah,
We
I
talked
feel
about
bad
it,
for
yep.
the Mets.
Just feels like a
Poor
big
Mets
punch in the
fans.
face.
Yeah, I think they'll still be all right, but they're definitely. I don't know,
They
man.
can still win the division. I think Like if they had
Yeah.
gotten
There's a
Bauer, they
chance.
probably
I don't know.
would have
There's a
done it
chance.
I
easily,
think
but
them not getting Bauer, since we were all so positive they were getting Bauer, I feel like we're all sour on the Mets now, even though they're still really fucking good without
no,
Bauer.
I still think
yeah.
they can win the division. I do
100%.
still think they can win the division. I mean, before
Yeah.
they got Bauer, I said that I think the Braves are going to win the division, and obviously they don't have Bauer, so I still think that. But they still have a really good chance. They're still a really good
I
team.
honestly think they're my
Yeah.
favorite right now until the Braves do something, whether that's
Like if the Braves re-sign Ozuna, then
Yeah,
if they
that
re-sign
needs to
Ozuna,
happen.
then they're okay.
there's a lot of different things. Could we give
Yeah.
a quick shout out to Dexter Fowler? I would kind of want to go in depth in that beautiful trade acquisition. $1.17 I think $1 million we're paying him or something. 1.75
Yeah, dude,
I
the
believe.
Card. I don't understand it from the Cardinals' perspective.
They literally
they're-
just wanted to get him off their team so they could have
Yeah.
more room for their young guys to play, I guess. So like Tyler
guess,
O'Neill will be an
but-
everyday starter now for sure.
Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader and then Dylan Carlson. So that was more of
Yeah.
just I don't know if it's not even a salary dump since they're paying all the salaries. So
Yeah,
I mean it works for the Angels, I guess, but I guess Dexter Fowler is our Brian Goodwin for next year. Not a flashy, crazy good
but
player.
is he even going to be as good as? I mean, I know Brian.
Probably not.
Goodwin
Yeah,
isn't
I'd
great,
say Brian
but-
Goodwin's better. Brian Goodwin was
Yeah.
pretty good with the Angels too.
Yeah, I mean, he's better than an aging Dexter Fowler who hasn't been good in quite a long time. So.
Bro, my
Yeah,
man's
well,
a
he used to
former
be an
All-Star.
All-Star, I believe.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
My former
I said
All-Star.
good in a long time. I
Finished
didn't
top
say he was
10 in
never
Rookie of the
good.
Year voting once.
You want to talk about? We were talking about Cloud of the Week earlier because I said he was going to go to the Mets earlier this week. Talk about Cloud of the Week. The fucking St. Louis Cardinals tweeting out reunited. That is
that's
Cloud of the
hilarious.
Week.
That was
That's
really
hilarious.
bad.
They,
Well,
if-
they
if
had
those
to
of
have
you,
known something, right?
apparently the social media manager didn't.
That's-
But if you're watching this and you don't know what we're talking about, the St. Louis Cardinals official Twitter page tweeted out a picture of Arenado and Dexter Fowler back when they were Colorado Rockies hugging, and they tweeted out reunited because obviously Arenado's a Cardinal now, and Dexter Fowler was a Cardinal until 6 hours after they posted the tweet. So terrible take from their part. Unfortunate for them.
Clown of the
What are
Week
the odds of that?
2.5.
Hilarious, dude. Absolutely.
So I don't know those freezing cold take pages,
Yep.
Yeah.
poorly aged things. Yeah.
Unless you guys have anything else to say, I mean, I think we covered it all.
Yeah, we had to get out and talk about our boy Trevor Bauer, man. It's gonna be 2021 is gonna be a roller coaster, my guys. We're gonna have some fun conversations this year. I'm excited for
Absolutely.
everyone to just get settled into their spots, grab some popcorn so we can start talking about teams in depth and see where they're gonna go, who has the best
Yeah, for
rosters and
sure.
whatnot going into spring training. So yeah, I'm excited, man.
If you want
the
more
biggest
baseball
domino.
news, if you want to talk more about Trevor Bauer, you just haven't gotten enough of him yet. Nolan and I both put out YouTube videos today. That's NMR Sports on YouTube and McMiller42 on YouTube. We both just got our YouTube videos out, so go check us out over there as well.
Yes, sir.
And without anything else to say, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you follow us on our social channels. That's at DIR Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Again, shout out to JPro Gaming for our new logo, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
out.
Peace.